I'm telling you guys, if you're offended, it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse, I promise you.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
What's up, bitches? I am on one today, and by on one I don't mean a drug. I mean, we are about to talk about some news. Olds, actually, because it's been like a week and a half since I've seen these Philip DeFranco videos. Most of these come from Philip DeFranco videos, not all of them. But we're about to talk about some news today, kind of, and I'm about to give my opinions on them because usually I watch the news and I'm like, this is boring, I don't care about any of this. But lately I've been like, wow, a lot of this stuff is really annoying and stupid, so I want to talk about it. And then some other stuff that's just kind of interesting. So if you expect to be informed, don't be. I'll post all of my links and sources to the best of my lazy ass ability down in the description. You can also check out my OnlyFans and Patreon, of course, down there. Anything else, please do your own research. As always, this is my like third, fourth cup of coffee, cold brew, splash of almond milk, just in case you're wondering. And I am just ready to rant about this stuff. So one of the first things that I wanted to talk about was how often I see celebrities talking about like, oh my God, I lost or gained weight and now everyone's talking about my body. And then Philip DeFranco or whoever else I'm watching is always like, stop talking about people's bodies, da 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 da. Or like the whole SJW shit where it's like, oh my God, don't compliment someone on their weight loss because it could be because of anorexia or like illness or whatever. And it's just like, it makes my fucking head hurt. Look, if you want to be super fucking PC and not compliment anyone on any of their perceived achievements because you're like worried that you're gonna offend them in some back ass way, don't do it. Be my guest. And if someone literally says, don't compliment this and that because, you know, I'm not feeling great about it, sure, if you're their friend, maybe you don't do that. But expecting people to not comment on whoever the fuck, I don't know, Adele's body when she gains or loses a lot of weight as a celebrity, how the fuck do you expect anyone not to comment on that? Like literally people comment on the most minute, retarded things about celebrities. Everything from like actually relevant shit, like the way that they act or the way that they sing or whatever, or their new albums, all the way to like what they wore at the whatever gala bullshit shit. Like that's what people do. They gossip and talk about celebrities, and celebrities are the best target for this because at least so many people are talking about them that they don't have time to be checking social media for all of these replies or whatever. And then also they're making millions and millions of dollars to kind of offset the sadness that they might feel because people are judging their bodies. Like honestly, you're never going to make people stop thinking this stuff. So why are you trying to make people stop saying this stuff? I am of the opinion that you should be taking care of your own mental health, as you guys know. So I find it so silly when something like a celebrity's body I see in the news for being like, stop commenting on her body. There's just like one chick, who is it? Is it like, I like her music a lot, or I like one of her songs a lot. Let me rephrase. And she always wears like baggy ass shirts and shit, and she's clearly like thick as fuck or something, and that's why she wears baggy shit. And then she decided to do sexier stuff, and now people are like talking shit. I think it's the Happier Than Ever girl. That's the song that I really like, by the way. I heard that while I was getting my eyebrows done, and I'm like, oh my God, this actually sounds like a rock opera at a certain point. I like how it kind of progresses into like this like crescendoing climax of the song, and while it's doing it, it's saying things that I think are relevant. Like I really like the lyric, I never talk shit about you on the internet, never said anything bad to anyone or whatever, because that's just embarrassing, you were my everything. Like I feel the same way. It's so crazy how many of my female friends talk shit about their boyfriends, or like talk about their boyfriends and their tiffs and arguments. I'm like, oh my God, that makes them look so bad. I would never do that. They'll just be like, oh yeah, my boyfriend be shitting himself and crying in the shower, and I'm like, whoa dude, can you calm down? Anyway, that was very off topic. So my opinion is this. If someone's attracted to you, they're gonna want you to look conventionally attractive. So if it's a man judging a woman's body, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, I love that you lost weight, or oh no, don't get fat as fuck, that's gross. But then there's this weird flip side, particularly women that use these like fat models and fat celebrities as like a way to tell themselves that being fat and unhealthy is okay, and it's hilarious. So like when those celebrities who are fat get fit, these women are like, oh, you're taking away my representation and you're saying that what I am is not okay and needs to be improved. I mean, almost objectively, yes. Unless you're just like kind of thick, but you're still healthy and whatever, you know, like me, then there's fucking no reason for you to be like morbidly obese. It's fucking bad for you objectively. There's a reason why we evolutionarily don't like that shit when we look at it. It's like viscerally not okay. I'm telling you guys, if you're offended, it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse, I promise you. One thing I wanted to mention is that Jonah Hill is one of the worst people for this. I've watched him take interviews, and he's a comedian celebrity, right? Like, he's a comedian actor. So, like, it makes sense that people would troll him about his weight and say, like, do people still see you as the fat friend and all that stuff? Like, and he gets offended, like, to the point where it's, like, cringy. It's like, dude, heal your trauma from being a fat kid, all right? Because you'll be all right now, you know? Like, let people make fucking jokes.
But are you still considered the fat guy when you go to a party or anything? Because I run into that a whole lot. I'm the fat one. So are you the fat guy in Hollywood still, or is everybody like look at you and they're like, oh wow, you know, this is great, now you're healthy?
Do you have any other questions that are smart?
You can tell when something is like triggering someone irrationally to the point where it's like, oh, you haven't dealt with this yet. Okay, so you're gonna be an asshole instead of taking your own mental health into your own hands. Like, what the fuck? Like, a lot of people praise him for like shutting that shit down. I'm trying to do air quotes, but my finger's broken. And I'm just like, wow, this guy's like a huge F word. What the fuck? Can I post this? I don't know. I've had too much coffee. Hassan Piker and the escort/stripper drama. All right, so Hassan Piker is a super communist dude. I've had like one interaction with him and he was like baffled by my stances. I don't fucking know. He's kind of hot. Anyway, so he like retweeted some fan or something who was wearing like his shirt and was at a strip club with a stripper. And then he's also talked about going to a brothel in Germany before. And this is like no news to anyone who's had any experience with Hassan Piker. I've never watched his stream, yet I know that he like fucks porn stars and shit. So the internet getting up in arms with him like supporting female exploitation, which is so fucking stupid, by the way, is like so not surprising, but also so dumb because like Hassan has been openly very sex positive. And obviously when you're super sex positive, like myself, you will often say that you partake in the funness that is naked girls, i.e. strip clubs and brothels. I would certainly hire hookers and shit if it were legal. I mean, there are some counties here where it is legal, but not currently the one I am residing in. So why are you saying that just because these industries could possibly be, in some facets, when used inappropriately, exploiting women, that we should completely not support the whole industry? The industry that is supporting many women's right to be sex positive and make their own money with no man needed. That's fucking crazy. That's like saying, you know what? I don't want to support the automotive industry because it enables a lot of baby deaths when people get in car accidents with babies in the car. It's such a small, and to everyone in the industry, unfortunate part of the industry that it shouldn't factor into whether or not you are okay with doing it. This is something I've talked about before. It's like so crazy. People will tunnel vision into their own opinion. Okay, so this is how I see it. Person is offended by sex work, or a person thinks that it's gross, like viscerally. And then when someone's like, what the fuck? Why? I love porn and hookers and strippers. Like, what's wrong with you? They'll like latch on to this tiny, minute subset of like what's going on there and then be like, that is why. So they're just like, there's that one tiny little thing there. I'm gonna say that that's why and say that no one should do it because that's why. It's like, why? Obviously, if Hassan ever ran into sex trafficking, he'd be like, no, that sucks. I don't even like the guy. I'm assuming he would do that. I don't dislike the guy. I just dislike communism, so, you know. I don't know why people can't look outside of their own perceptions and opinions and be like, oh, I can see how someone could like that, even though I don't like it, or I can see how that can be positive to someone else, even though I have my own biases. It's like, why is it so hard for people? It's crazy. The Philadelphia train rape. All right, so some woman was obviously unfortunately raped on a train. I think it was in Philadelphia. This is something I also saw in Philip DeFranco, and nobody helped her. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, again, do your own research, but nobody helped her. and some people even filmed the incident. And supposedly the people who filmed the incident might see criminal charges. Okay, first of all, I would never live in a place that actually had a strict Good Samaritan law, meaning that I would never live somewhere that forces people to get involved when something has befallen on someone else. Like, even if it's just drowning, I'm not gonna be required to go save. I'm sorry, people are gonna fucking hate me for this, but I don't wanna be required by law and lose my fucking freedom if I don't feel like possibly drowning myself to save some other person's fucking stupid kid. Like, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to decide to be a hero and save someone when it's possible that me or someone that I actually love could be hindered or hurt in the process. And if the law requires me to do that, fuck off, I'm moving. So while people can place a moral obligation on that kind of thing and moral severity based on like how easy it would be to help versus how equipped they are to help. So for instance, like maybe like an off-duty cop should an ex-cop, let's say, because I think off-duty cops have to help, but like an ex-cop is probably gonna be better equipped to help than like a rando girl on a train watching a train rape. And obviously if everyone was a big hive mind, they could all just like attack the person at once, and like maybe one person would get sliced up a little bit, but like it would be for the greater good or whatever. Imagine jumping in on something or being required to jump in on something that could hurt you as well. You don't know how scary the guy was. I know it sounds so great to be like, I'm gonna be a hero and save this woman, but you have no idea the circumstance. And the fact that someone can get punished for filming it, unless they're like reproducing it like revenge porn on the internet, is fucking stupid as well, because the people are probably recording it because it's the safest way to help the cops later on. So that was shocking to me that possibly they could get charges for filming it and not helping, when helping could be dangerous but filming it could be helpful. Alec Baldwin movie shooting. Anytime anyone talks about firearms, 90% of the people don't know anything about them. It's fucking wild. A lot of people think there's like a lot of things that don't exist, like getting guns without background checks, fucking blah 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 loopholes. Like, people are so dumb about guns, and then they have such strong opinions about guns. It blows my mind. Like, how can you have such a strong opinion about something and then literally be spouting literal non-facts like all the time? Anyway, I highly recommend you watch the video I'm going to link in the description by Lauren Southern. I know some of you might not like Lauren Southern, but she gives a fact-based analysis of how the movie industry handles firearms, what blanks are, the fact that they're still deadly, and it paints a really, really good picture of how dumb the Alec Baldwin situation is and how common it can be if you don't follow safety protocol. And it had a lot of stuff in there that I didn't even know about blanks and movie guns and stuff like that. And I also can't stop laughing at how Alec Baldwin, the hater of firearms, is not using firearm safety and doing dumb shit that a legal gun owner would never do because they actually know safety protocols. Never point a fucking gun, even a replica, even an unloaded gun, even one with blanks, at anything you're not willing to fucking destroy. It's that fucking easy. That's why I cringe so much when I see these cosplayers holding the gun with their finger on the trigger, like pointing it at their heads. It's like, not only is that sketchy if it's a real gun, even if it's not loaded, but it's also cringy because like someone who knows how to use guns, like the like the army woman you're portraying, they would never do that. So it's like kind of akin to the girl who's a fake gamer holding a controller like upside down or something and then being like, hee hee, like you're not recreating, unless you're doing it ironically, the thing that you want to recreate properly. So just like finger off the trigger safety, don't point it at shit, don't be fucking retarded. All right, cool. All right, so our last little bit of news before I get into this little meme that I saw one of my followers post is that I guess 3 years ago, during a bukkake scene, which is many men humiliating a girl by jerking off onto her face one after the other until she's drowned in semen. Actually drowned in semen. Now, it's funny, all right? I'm gonna laugh at it because it's funny, because it's not me. I don't know the girl. Poor girl, though. It sucks. It sucks. Actually, that's how I want to go. Honestly, it's how I want to go. So I can't really apply that to her because maybe she didn't want to go that way. Maybe she did. Who knows? But she literally choked on semen. There were 20 guys jizzing on her face, and at one point she starts choking on semen. The director yells at her because he thinks that she's not choking, and then the guy who tries to resuscitate her wipes as much semen off as he could before he gave her mouth to mouth, and that's hilarious to me. Still, this girl dying, he's like, I don't want to like take all this jizz in my mouth. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, you should look it up. I'll post a link to that in the description. It really is the way I would like to go. I want to be drowned literally in semen, but also my condolences. That sucks. It was a Japanese girl because, you know, Pkwy is Japanese. Even though we use that word in America, it means something a little bit different here. It's just kind of like a lot of guys jizzing on you. But in Japan, it has like that whole we're shaming you stipulation that a lot of guys don't know about. All right, so the last thing we're gonna talk about here is a little less unapologetic, but it's another stupid SJW thing. Like, you can literally make this shit up so easily. It's like you could just have a robot be like, what can we be outraged about today? Now, I'm not saying that like this is common for people to be this crazy. I know when you're on the internet, it seems like it is. Hold on, let me fucking find this thing that I saved. All right, so it's this right-handed privilege. As a left-handed person, I have to chime in. It's easier and it makes life easier. All right, let's do the inverse of this, all right? Left-handed people adapt a little bit, and therefore left-handed people are more often ambidextrous. Like me, my boyfriend, my mom, we're all left-handed people, and we're kind of ambidextrous. Like, a lot of the sports I will do right-handed, and then I can also do a lot of stuff left-handed. So while I can't write that well right-handed, a lot of the other stuff in my life I can do right-handed fine, like using a mouse and keyboard. You kind of have a superpower of being ambidextrous. Left-handed people often have better control of their right hand than right-handed people have of their left hand. Next one, sense of belonging, to fit in. Well, you know what? Sometimes being unique, like a lot of SJWs put themselves in these categories to be, is attractive. So being different than everyone else can be pretty attractive. Wow, I'm like a unicorn. Wow, I'm a snowflake. I'm not like everyone else. The world is organized for right-handers because most of the world is right-handed. However, you can very much and very easily and for the same price, most often, find left-handed versions of things. Now, I will admit, it is quite hard for me to cut with scissors of any kind, even the left-handed ones for some reason. But everyone has their own fair share of adversity. For instance, right-handed people, when I was in school, the scissors would run out, but I would always have that one left-handed pair of scissors for myself because there weren't any other left-handers. I don't fucking know, I'm just making shit up. I can make inverse shit up of all of this. Anyone who sees these small things, writes them down like this on a bulletin, and then internalizes them is making their own problems. You're literally, by thinking this way, making problems for yourself that do not actually exist, that you can ignore, that do not actually cause you any actual strife. It's hilarious. More access, more opportunity, more advantage. This is all just like words. Like, if you're day by day dying because you are left-handed, grow the fuck up and get a backbone. I've been left-handed my entire life. Things are very easy for me. Things are fine. But there's a lot of cool stuff I can do with both hands, like masturbate and jerk a guy off. Hot. All right, let me know if you guys liked this. Obviously, I'm doing surface level versions of things for comedic value, but I actually think all of the stuff that I'm saying as well. And I'm doing it in a more bitchy way because I'm very, very, very caffeinated. This is my second venti size cold brew I've had today. And I needed it because I was like crashing and now I'm not. So that's great. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I am happy with the centers. If you disagree, I love hearing that shit in the comments. Let me know other perspectives because I don't like living in an echo chamber, unlike people who think right-handed privilege is a thing. I mean, it might be a thing, but a thing that matters? Definitely not. I love you guys and I will see you in the next one.